Thank you very much for coming. Is there anybody here who's never been to a channeling at all of any kind? Okay. Yeah, John. Yeah, right. They take various forms from different people, and generally, just being brief about this, because most people have heard me sort of say this, what I do like to say very quickly for new people in particular is that, there's been a lot of talk about channeling, a lot of controversy in the media and so forth, but it's not something that, at least in this channeling, that we insist that you have to believe in terms of who we say the source is, or even that there maybe is another consciousness. We're doing this because it seems that the information, the material itself, has validity, does seem to cause certain effects in people's lives when they apply the information. Seems workable, in other words, to put it in simple terms, and so we keep doing it for that reason, because the information has impact. If you find that the information works for you, then by all means use it. If you find that something else works better, then use that, because that's really what it's all about, is finding what's best for you. This is simply one way of providing another perspective, another point of view. Bashar, what we call Bashar, the entity, the consciousness that comes through, does present himself as an extraterrestrial consciousness, does present himself as having physical form, and that what's happening here is kind of a telepathic link-up, perhaps an appropriate way, even though this may sound a little facetious, it's not meant to be. An appropriate analogy might literally be like thinking of a channel as a human radio or a human telephone, a biological one instead of an electronic or mechanical one. It's simply a matter of some training, some practice, getting into an appropriate frequency that matches the frequency of another consciousness and allows that consciousness's thoughts to be translated through the body into whatever language the channel happens to be programmed with. So it's not really anything, from what I can tell, that's that mysterious. It's just it's a physical process that some civilizations, some levels of spirit have learned to do, and that some people here have discovered they have the ability to do. Everyone really does. And any time that anybody is in a state where they're really doing something full out, completely focused, letting it flow through them without doubt, in a sense, that's also channeling. It's the state itself that allows certain higher portions of the consciousness to come through unimpeded, very clear, with a broader perspective. That's just channeling as a basic definition. So it doesn't always have to involve some other consciousness. And that's why we say it doesn't really matter if you believe there's another consciousness involved or not. It's the information that's important. We will have the typical Q&A session, as it usually goes, is Bashar will come through after I go into the trance state. He will say a few words probably for about the first 10 minutes or so, and then he'll open it up to you for questions and answers on any subject that you want. Now, I'm assuming that most of you saw that if you wanted to ask a question, to have written your name on the bottom of the paper over there and stick it in the box, because we'll draw names out to choose those who will have the ability to ask a question. It's the fairest way that we can think of to do it, just by random choice. So if you really do feel like you want to have an opportunity to ask a question, you haven't put your name in the box, please do so. And Erica will probably draw them out before we get started. And we'll probably have like the first 3 people who are going to ask come up here, so that when he says it's time for questions, there won't be too much lag time. People can just keep coming up, and she can keep announcing like a clutch of 3 names, and we can keep it flowing pretty smoothly. About halfway through the session, there'll be a break, and we have some refreshments for you, tea and cookies and so forth, and welcome to help yourself to that. The break will probably be about 15, 20 minutes at the most. Then we'll go back into the second half of the question and answer session, and that will go till about 6 o'clock. The break will probably, I'm guessing, happen somewhere between 4:15, 4:30, something like that. But the time goes seemingly, well, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, goes relatively fast, because I'm not really focused on it. Hopefully it'll go quickly for you as well. And again, especially for new people, bottom line here is to have fun. Keep it informal in that sense. Talk to him as a friend. And again, realize that he's talking to you as an equal. He's not talking down to you as a superior, because he doesn't believe that he is. He just believes he's different. Before Erica makes the announcement of the people's names, and before we actually begin the session, there is an announcement I would like to make. Obviously, this is not going to mean really that much to most of you who don't know, but I know that we've been trying to get the word out, and there are a lot of people who were familiar with this particular person. Those of you that know Margot Chandley passed away on December 7th. So it's been difficult to reach everyone that knows her and let them know that this has happened. But she did pass away, and I just want to make sure that anyone who didn't know that does know that now, so that they can sort of align their thoughts with her and send her some love, because I'm sure she's doing fine. Do you want to announce the names? Also, when you do come up and ask a question, you'll be coming up from the chairs to the microphone. Is this microphone actually mic'd the same way this one is, so that everyone can hear? Okay. I'm sorry, say that again. Yes, this is being taped, and if you want a tape of this particular session or any tapes that are available, there are hundreds of tapes available. Please see Steve Myers in the back there in the brown sweater. His hand is up at the break or at the end of the session, and he'll be happy to help you with a tape from today or any of the tapes that are on the list at the table. You want to use the mic? All right, so please have a good time, and I'll see you at the break.
All right, I'll say good day to each and every one of you, this day of your time. How are you all this day of your time? We greet you as we have greeted you many times, and in particular now in this day, in the closing of another of your years of counting, approaching another new year in your cycle. We would like to address the idea, the notion of what each and every one of you in your hearts have laid out for yourselves in the coming years, in the coming decade. In this, the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new cycle upon your planet, as many of you have heard many times. The timing, again, just briefly, in recapping, as you say, is the idea that the old cycle that is now ending is the cycle of limitation, the cycle of forgetfulness, the cycle of struggle and strife and suffering, and that the new cycle that is now beginning, one cycle transforming into another, is the cycle of expansiveness, of awareness, of conscious commandment, and of joy and ecstasy in creating the reality that you desire simply, easily, and quickly, efficiently for yourselves. Not erasing challenge by any means, but learning the challenge is a part of the path, and as such can be in and of itself a joy, because it is what will give you the attributes that you will then use to more fully appreciate the life that you are aiming for, the reality that you are creating. Instead of backing away from the things that occur in your life, by embracing them and assigning them a positive meaning, you will then allow them to create for you the gifts, to contain the seeds of the changes that you say you desire to make in your lives. And this is a very straightforward process. Nothing mysterious about it. Nothing in that sense occult about that idea. For the notion now in your new cycle is to transform what was occult, which means hidden in your language, into that which is clearly placed before you, so that you exercise your true power which is simply the ability to choose what is most true for you, most representative of the being you chose to be in this physical life. And in exercising that power with clarity and insight, then allowing yourself to accelerate in that direction with each year now in your new decade. And as you approach the shift of what you call your millennium, your year of 2000, just to use that as a convenient marker in general, then as you approach that marker, to see all around you, both on an individual basis and on a collective basis, more and more circumstances that are representative of the reality you prefer, both within your personal life and on your planet as a whole. We have discussed many times that sometimes when you see events occur both in your personal life and events occur on the planetary scale that seem to say, oh, things could not get any worse, we remind you once again that because of the structures you have created in the past, it will be necessary for these structures to in some way, shape, or form break down in order that they can be reconstructed. How you experience these structures breaking down is up to you. Whether you experience them in a negative way or whether you experience them in a positive way is up to you. And the idea that it is all a part of the orchestration, all a part of the picture of your planet at this time, and that each event is connected to every other event, whether you can see that on the surface or not, knowing that it is, will help you to allow yourself to see how they all blend, how they all fit, what your part is within the whole picture, and how you can assist your world as well as your personal life to accelerate toward positive reality, a positive outcome. We, again, desire to reinforce that we are not just speaking in flowery terminology. We are not just saying these things because it sounds good to your ear. We, again, always wish to stress that these principles, the idea, the concept in and of itself of creating a reality of joy, constant joy, positive manifestation and ecstasy, is not too good to be true. That this is actually a practical and pragmatic way to live. That this is the way the universe can work for you if you choose to let it do so. Because in that sense, you have been created with free will. You have been created with the power to choose. You are reflections of the infinite creator, and what you say in your reality does stick if you believe that that is the most likely choice that will manifest. It is a matter of exploring, as we have done many times in the past, the ideas of your beliefs, beliefs that you may no longer require in your life, beliefs that may no longer be representative of who you prefer to be, and in discovering those beliefs, to transform the definitions of those beliefs into what you prefer them to be, and so see your lives reflect those changes physically, in physical terms, so that it changes in the way that is representative of the life you wish to have. The ideas as you go forward now into your new year is to understand in a very strong way that with each and every moment, with each and every day, you are really a new person in every way, shape, and form. Again, your reality, your physical reality, may not allow you as much opportunity to really fully realize how different you are from moment to moment, because you tend to think that you look the same, more or less, from one moment to the next. But that is an illusion. That is simply a creation. That is a projection. It is a convenience for you, so that you have some sense of continuity in physical reality. But you are, in every way, shape, and form, quite literally, a very, extremely, completely different person from one moment to the next. And whatever you say you are, whatever you truly define yourself to be, and really believe with all your heart that you are at any given moment, is the reality you will experience at that moment. Should you change your mind in the next moment, should you recreate, shall we say, an older you that you do not prefer, then your reality has no choice but to follow suit and reflect the old idea to you in that next moment. But whatever you say you are, and on the new avenue of communication, if your mother wishes to participate in this, if you wish to participate in this, it will be of benefit to that individual. Do you understand?
Yes.
Time spent, at least 10 of your minutes, holding delicately the head around the temples. Even if you do not physically touch, be within about 1/4 of 1 inch, and flow energy, warmth, love, life through the hands, and feel the body filling up in that way with comfort, and allow a reciprocation to take place, and allow her to make sure that while she is doing that, or while you are doing that, that your breathing is very regular and very deep. Do you understand? Also, there are tea and tinctures that can be of assistance to this individual, if such intake is possible, to help balance the system and the pressure of the blood, and you will be attracted to that information. Trust your instincts. Let the information come to you. Choose what feels comfortable. You do not have to take everything that is offered, but there is natural teas and herbs that can be of some assistance in the healing of the individual. All right? Thank you. Sharing.
Shivai, Bashar.
And to you, Shivai.
Thank you.
One moment. As course of explanation, Shivai is a word, a remnant word of our ancient language, which we no longer use because our society is telepathic. But the word loosely translates into the following notion. When an individual in our society is focused on a path, when they are, as you say, making a move for something that really represents their ecstasy, then if they simply say, Shivai, all others either get out of their way or assist them to get there, knowing that it is a reach, it is a connection, it is a direct line to a goal. And Shivai, in that sense, loosely simply means the idea of saluting that you go for your goals, that you live your dreams, that your desire is what you are.
Thank you for that, Bashar. First of all, I've been asked to give you Lola's love. She's in Mexico and following her excitement and her dreams.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I truly am on my path. I've been doing what you've told us to do about following our excitement.
What I suggested.
What
I did
you
not
suggested.
tell you to.
That's true.
All right.
Okay. But you said it so many times, I really believe it, and I know that for myself it is truly a way to live and to follow your joy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so I've been doing my artwork.
All right.
And it has been supporting me.
Yes, surprise, surprise.
Yes. And now it has led me to using the word Shivai and following my goals.
All right.
To be able to go and live in our beautiful Topanga Canyon in a beautiful, magical place called Elysium.
All right.
And I will be able to focus on my artwork there and live there, and I'm really excited about that.
One word.
Yes.
Well, all right, more than one word. Now, understand, feel how this is meant, how this is intended.
Okay.
The energy of the area you have described, as we perceive that energy, It is a very open, structured energy. If an individual immerses themselves, as you say, resides in that area, immerses themselves in that energy, the nature of the energy in that area is greatly dependent upon how the individual themselves channels that energy. For if there are individuals who immerse themselves in the energy of that area, who are exploring the idea of uncertainty, of doubt, of fear, of the form of negativity in any way, the structure you are amplifies the energy in that area.
I see. And is it a vortex there?
In a sense,
okay.
yes, but one with a very specific nature. Truly, in that area, you get back what you put out.
Yes, you do.
And the idea also is that it is like being surrounded by a maelstrom of energy, of very many different random individual expressions. Whatever is your clear path will be what you get. And the idea is also to remember that many things in that area are being offered because many different kinds of expressions are being lived out. You only need to choose what you truly feel is correct for you.
Okay, I'll do that. On the way over here, I was driving with Strawberry and Carolyn.
Yes.
And they were telling me that, just to let you know what's going on, I just found this out.
All right.
We have a blimp called the Fuji blimp.
Fuji blimp. All right.
And it means the film. We have a film that's called Fuji.
Yes, all right.
And they have a blimp, okay. They said that they were in Orange County, and they saw the blimp, and it has been created to look like now a UFO, an IFO.
Oh, all right, yes, IFO, since you do know what it is.
Yeah, that's true. So I thought that was nice. And I was kind of...
One moment. Why?
Because I feel that, like you've told us before, that our society is becoming more and more accepting that we are indeed in touch with extraterrestrial consciousness.
And why is that?
Because we are raising our own consciousness to that consciousness.
Because you are being more in touch with yourself.
That's right, yes.
All right.
So I thought that was exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
All right. Well, perhaps when we are flying by, we might see it and say, oh, look, what is that?
I was wondering if you might want to fly by today sometime, if you had the notion.
Not myself personally.
No, but maybe somebody else?
Not in your immediate area, but
okay.
close.
Close.
Yes.
Okay. So my last question, and I know I'm kind of taking a long time.
There are formations now around your Hawaiian islands as we speak.
Oh, good. Okay. I wanted to ask you, and someone asked you this before, and I found it fascinating. But seeing as we haven't seen you for a while, I was wondering what you have been doing in your life that you have been exploring, and what new ideas have you been looking at?
I will keep this very brief.
Okay.
For again, the idea is to discuss many ideas about your own transformation. But I will share with you briefly, once again, the notion that there are transformations taking place within my society. I have been rarely on the surface of my planet this past year of your time, which is not as long as a year of my time. There are many focal points now coming together with many different civilizations in their transformation, have been acting as a conduit. I do not know if there is an analogy in your society for this, but perhaps you could say I have been functioning as a routing switch for different forms of consciousness to dialogue with each other, to assist them. The nature sometimes, some of you may have noticed, of the communication coming through this day of your time is a little more halting. It is because there are many dialogues crossing through me at this moment from different civilizations to each other. I am being a switchboard at the moment.
Okay.
This coordination, this orchestration in and of itself adds to the momentum of each of the civilizations now approaching a turning point of great magnitude, such as your own. And in a sense, therefore, I'm acting also as an amplifier to help rebound some of the energy from all of these different communications from one to the other, so that certain attributes from each civilization leak into other civilizations to help reinforce those aspects that would best assist each and every one of you in the direction that you prefer. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
This is what I have been performing of late. This orchestration, this conduit, this switchboard type idea have been now in what you may call constant trance state for 400 of your days.
That's very interesting. I bet you could use a good massage.
Now, my bodily form has, during this time, become far more crystalline, more silicon than what you would call carbon.
Okay.
Have been very much like unto a statue. This will continue for 200 more of your days. And then I will transform using my old form as a seed for the new form that I will become.
Thank you, Bashar.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Shooting!
Shivai.
Speak up if you're going to say that.
Shivai.
Shivai!
Sorry for my Italian accent.
It is not the idea of the accent, just the idea of being bold.
Bold.
Yes, bold.
Okay.
What do you
It's
wish
not easy
to
to
share?
be bold for the first time.
Oh, right.
I'm very troubled because I've lived with a lady who was over her 80s.
Yes.
And I had some very beautiful moments with her.
Yes.
And right when these moments were the most beautiful, she had a problem in her head. I think you call it a stroke.
All right.
And she's now in a very strange state for me to understand.
All right.
She's very calm in her face,
Yes.
and her body is struggling very hard to breathe, and her heart beats at different speeds.
Yes.
I don't know how to relate to a person
All right.
split in different dimensions, and I wonder if she's conscious
Yes.
of her being linked to both dimensions.
Now and then, yes. Sometimes no. Now and then, yes.
Is it our choice to
Oh, yes.
choose whether to let go one way or the other?
Eventually, yes. But there are a few things that need resolving first.
Is it dependent on what she's left behind? Is she aware that maybe there was something she needed to close in this physicality before moving on to the next dimension?
In a sense, but most of it has to do with waiting for other individuals other than herself to do certain things so that she knows, so that she gets the realization that those other individuals are, in a sense, all right, that they will continue on the path they need to be on in the proper momentum, so she can be at ease and know that it will only take a suggestion from her now and then as a spirit guide to help keep them going in the right direction. You are one of those. The idea, to some degree, is that now she is communicating on what you might call relatively restricted wavelengths, which you can be sensitive to. You can pick up on them on a very subliminal level, very emotional level, almost what you might call a primal animal level. If you open yourself up to that wavelength, you will feel all of the communication that needs to be felt. It would be our suggestion to send to that person in your thoughts the understanding that lines are being cut, lines are being pulled in for a purpose, for the timing, that you are willing to recognize that the timing is appropriate, that you are willing to send to her the energy that allows her to know you believe that she knows what she is doing, to allow it to be smooth and easy for her, to go on to the next level where she will be of assistance to many individuals as a guide, a loving guide. Do you understand so far?
Very much.
Is this helping you?
Plenty. It's just like Robert, a friend of mine, you just keep helping me at gluing my puzzle together. I find everybody already has the pieces of the puzzle. We just at one point choose or learn how to put it together.
I am now receiving that you, as you go to sleep at night, will be able to communicate to someone who is waiting for her on the other side, as you say. And in dialoguing with that spirit form who will help her across, he, I will use the term for now, he can let you in on the general timing of the plan and can help you to help her from this side, even as you help him to help her from that side. You have begun to form a dialogue with this guide who will help her, but you can become more aware of it than you are.
But see, she was such an incredible guide.
Still is.
When she was alive.
Still is.
She changed, she made my previous 30, almost 1 years, a very short period of time compared to the very little time that I spent with her.
Are you expecting that the time will now get longer?
Keeps getting shorter. It
Yes.
goes more into a moment. If one could just find that one feeling that says it all,
Well,
it would
yes.
it would be the way to find.
All right, very good. That is the primal level we are talking about. Allow yourself to know that if you know there is that one feeling that says it all, that you can feel that point, that you can be in that space. And allowing yourself in a meditative state to be in that space will also open you up, make you sensitive to dialogue from other guides who can help you, who will be helping her. She is going to continue to be a guide, but not necessarily in the way that she was. Otherwise, there would be no advancement for her or for you. The guiding must now take place from another level, a higher level, so that you can rise to meet that vibration. The vibration is narrowing down, but it is also becoming very pure. You need to tap into that tone, that vibration that she is becoming. Between writing it out and seeing it in print, that you are afraid to look at.
I think so, yeah. There's a lot of fear that comes up. Although every once in a while I send things out, and if I don't get the results I want, if I don't get the acknowledgement that I want, then I stop writing for a while.
May I ask you another question?
Mm-hmm.
Are you writing for acknowledgement or because you love to write?
Basically because I love to write, and I have things that I feel are very important to talk about and to share. It's really a sharing.
All right.
Incredible.
Yes, but you aren't sharing them.
Right.
Why not?
Sometimes I think that maybe they're not these great stories that I think they are. Though I know that they. No, I know. They think that they are. I just can't get past this.
One moment.
Okay.
Yes, you're right. They stink. They are absolutely worthless. They are no good. They are terrible. They are utter trash. They are worse than useless.
Oh, gosh.
They are the worst possible things that have ever been written in the history of humanity. They are degrading. They are beneath you.
They're great stories.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now, how does all that sound? How does all that feel?
Ridiculous.
Oh, thank you very much.
These are the great relationship stories of the century. These are great stories about people caring about one another and wonderful things happening out of those kinds of
feelings. Will you do me a favor?
Yes.
Will you? Now, of course, this is for you. But I'll put it this way, just so I can trick you a little bit. Will you for me?
Oh, okay.
As a favor to me.
Yes, as an old friend.
As an old friend.
Yeah.
Believe me, I am much older than you. As an old friend. For me. And I know you don't want to disappoint me. Will you, of course, for yourself, write just one, that's all, 1 page a day. Just one. Now, is that too much to ask?
No, that's perfect.
Thank you. Then, as you do that, you will unlock, you will begin to flow. 1 page, that's all I ask. Now, if you choose to do more, that's up to you.
Okay.
All I ask for is 1 page a day. And believe me, I'll be there to read it.
Oh, you?
Don't disappoint me. Don't give me half a page and say, well, I'd use triple spacing.
Just double space, 8.5 by 11.
What do you think?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
See how that goes for you.
okay.
Just 1 page a day. Make it something that is a part of your being. This idea. 1 page a day. Make it your nickname if you wish.
1 page.
1 page a day. All right?
Okay, that would fit with New York. Everybody has nicknames.
All right.
Okay.
Does that help you in that area?
Yes, it does. 1 page a day would get it going.
All right. That's all it takes sometimes is that first little push. Something you know that is within your threshold of believability to accomplish. And then the ball is rolling and the momentum takes off. And pretty soon I'll probably be telling you, slow down, I can't read that fast.
Or that much.
Or that much. You may require a little trimming here and there, but that's all right.
So now the sense I have is that you're coming to New York to pick this up in a couple of months.
Maybe.
The final thing.
Maybe.
Okay.
Start with that and we will see where that goes, all right?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And also thank you for all the wonderful things that have happened to me in the last couple of years.
Oh, I had nothing to do with it.
Well, yes, you did.
Well, thank you.
Okay. But I love being here, and I appreciate just the whole involvement that I've had with you in the last few years.
Well, thank you. We love you being there, too.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Sharing.
Bashar, it's so wonderful to see you. I just can't tell you how much we all love you.
Well, you have just done a very good job. But we
Good.
love you too.
I just wanted to tell you, I want to share one thing with you, and
All
that
right.
is that I wrote a song
Yes.
about you. It's called I've Got an Alien This Time. And you could be a recording artist on planet Earth because I have a piece of the legacy laced under the breakdown section. And I hope you don't mind.
And?
And you're on the demo, so I didn't think you would mind. I thought I should ask you maybe before you're asking for a royalty or check or something.
No.
Okay.
In this case, I will say for now, in this case, we thank you.
Okay, great. I think you'll love it.
I already did.
Good. I think you helped me write it, actually. You've helped me write a few
Not
things.
really.
Well, I've called on you many times.
It is your
and-
inspiration, and we thank you for your creativity.
Okay, great. Now, I have one thing I want to talk to you about. It was very interesting to me. My writing partner was deported back to England about 3 weeks ago. And his wife supposedly turned him in. And I miss him, but something interesting has happened. I actually met a guy about 2 days before that happened. And it was interesting to me because it made me realize that I had been putting a personal life very much on hold and really digging into my work to the point where I wasn't really giving anyone a chance to get close to me. And I wasn't able to really test how unconditional my love is.
Oh, all right.
And now with him gone, I haven't been working quite as diligently, and not that it needs to be because we've got so many tunes that need to be heard now.
Okay.
But the funny thing about this new man is that I sense that he has a little bit of a less than feeling about himself, and I'm trying to figure out what it could be fear of love, fear of something really going well, because it's a very comfortable relationship, and I think he's afraid of that.
Also could be a reflection for you as well.
Well, I figured that out. I thought maybe I was, I'm trying to figure out how I feel less than, because that was intimated to me that
all right,
he
well,
really
just a
feels that way.
suggestion, maybe just a matter of what you call, again, timing and integration. Remember, no one part of your life is exclusive from every or any other part. And to think in terms of your life as a collection of parts is in and of itself segregating. Everything that you desire, everything that gives you joy, everything that excites you beyond anything else will utilize every aspect of you. And every aspect at one time or another will be called in to be dealt with, to be integrated fully, so that you are doing what you love to do as a fully integrated being, rather than allowing only one part of you to enjoy this or that, or do this or that.
Right.
All of you must be there, or you really won't be doing that thing. Not the you say you really want to be. Only a part of you will. You understand?
Yes.
And so there is some reflection in this individual for you about that. And of course, in kind, in turn, you will reflect certain things that individual needs to look at about themselves.
Oh, yeah, it's been an incredible challenge and a learning process. I'm just trying to figure out why we're all so afraid to love. And is it because of what we've turned love into, what we've encumbered it with?
Yes, because of the idea of ego structure rejection. Because of the idea that somehow you can be found less worthy, unworthy, that you can somehow be cut out. The idea is that it is not unconditional. The idea, and shall we say, periodic table of herbs to help delineate the classes of herb that we are discussing. We will discuss this again in the future. All right?
Thank you very much, Anne. Everybody here seems very receptive to you, and we all love you. Thank you.
We send you our love as well. And good day to you.
Greetings, Bashar. How you doing?
Perfect, and you?
All right, just fine. It's kind of remarkable that somebody came up and asked you about the signature vibration idea. That's mainly why I wanted to speak with you.
Oh, all right.
We know a lot about vibration already. That is, that all physical matter has atoms that vibrate, and we know that, of course, beings like ourselves not only have those atoms vibrating within us, but various chemical and electrical interchanges also happen to give other vibrations.
All right, that's one way to look at it, yes.
Well, all right, from our
Yes.
our technology at least. Then you also mentioned that the fabric of space-time itself, the template, has a vibration.
Yes.
Now, you and I have discussed many scientific idea, many a device. One, of course, is this particular craft the other gentleman was talking to you about. We can achieve the isolation effect. You've given us enough data and enough specifications to do that.
Yes.
Once
the technology must be exceedingly precise.
Yes, well, naturally, that's one of the things we have to overcome. We've talked about that as well. But what I want to know is how, now, for instance, our microwave ovens resonate at the frequency of the vibration of a water molecule, and that's how we get food to cook. Now, you don't want to have, say, the craft resonating at a particular frequency. You don't want to cook somebody or some rock you're trying to levitate. So what type of harmonics, what type of attraction?
The frequency does not go into the interior in the same way that it radiates outwardly.
Okay.
It is confined and channeled similarly to what you might call a synchrotron in the actual hull of the craft. It is rotated around the perimeter of the craft. Certain energies are siphoned off and do create certain effects within the interior, but what you would call the radiation that might be construed as harmful is confined to the exterior of the craft during certain operations.
Oh, okay. What I'm really most interested in then is the identification that you were saying that via your self-aware computer, the operator can attach himself or his mind, say, to a particular space and time to go to.
Yes.
Now, how would one measure that particular set of vibrational harmonics where you could attach yourself to?
In a sense, it is not measured. It is simply sensed.
It's known.
Yes.
So, well, then without this self-aware computer, then how does the Model T do it?
The Model T can learn to make very small paradigm shifts, you will find it will not go far in temporal or spatial displacement, but it will perform marvelously in the realm you would call sublight.
Mm-hmm. Is this akin to the Philadelphia experiment?
One moment. Yes, and that is a good example. For without the refinements of the guidance or navigational computer system, what you call the Philadelphia displacement did create negative side effects. Displacements in space-time that are not, shall we say, healthy for living beings.
Sure. There are a lot of random effects.
Ace.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, a number of my friends, upon finding out I was coming to speak with you, wanted to know, and a lot of other people have echoed this too, what your feelings are toward what's going on in the Middle East and toward, shall we say, putting together a one-world government, say, in the next 10, 15 years.
Again, it is still our perception that this will be achieved by your year 2025, but that there will be upheaval within your Middle East area in and around your 1997, and what is generally occurring now will continue until that upheaval, when all things will be reassessed and many realignments will be created. This is one way for that area to break down its older structures. It is, in a sense, replaying many past scenarios very quickly. The idea still is that there are many aspects that need to be worked out within that oversoul consciousness, and it is in the throes of a dream, a negative dream. It is only just awakening in certain ways and has yet to awaken to certain aspects of its own inner light. But this awakening in our perception will come in your year 1997, and then there will be great shift and great change in the 3 years following that. For now, these scenarios are as if different aspects of one mind, of one oversoul, continue to present different faces of itself as it reflects negative aspects of itself and fears that it has back to itself in a self-contained, self-convoluted, self-generating, self-perpetuated nightmare of sorts.
You make it sound like there's one person over there doing his thing.
In a sense, it is one mass mind.
You mentioned at one point also that the president we now have for this country will be the last time we elect a president. You still feel that way?
In a sense, yes.
I wasn't there for that. Could you elaborate?
The idea, again, shall be that as you spread yourselves throughout, as you connect yourselves throughout other systems on your planet, as they go through their upheavals, your nation will find that it has anchored itself in too many directions. The anchors that it will have in all of these directions will begin to pull and pull and pull even harder over the next decade until the center is pulled apart. That center will no longer be a point at which one individual can seem to run things, but will be a ever-widening circle that will make it obvious that a different form of regulation, a more republic form of regulation is required in order to maintain a stability and a balance of identity, and different policies, different attitudes, different notions of responsibility will again begin to shift and occur over your next 8 years of time until you have completely shifted the system you now have at present into more of what you may call an electorate board.
It's all very interesting. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you very much, Bashar.
Thank you. And sharing.
Hi, Bashar.
And you, good day.
I think I'm going to do a testimonial.
Testimonial, all right.
I do solemnly swear.
No, a testimonial is giving evidence of something that you have experienced to
right.
establish that it works.
As I said, I do solemnly swear that this experience is my reality.
When I first experienced Bashar 3 years ago, I believe it was in October. And at that time I was getting divorced. I was very worried about everything in my life.
Everything?
Finances, relationships, self-esteem, money, career.
Oh, all right, everything.
Spirituality. But I had been meditating, which I started doing.
Send you. Our desire for you to realize your own ecstasy and to follow your excitement. Good day. How'd it go? Thank you all again for coming very much, and hopefully we'll see you again.